everyone, and welcome to another Majesty discussion video. And today we are talking about the problem that the OT brings to the game. Guys, if you agree, if you like what you see, why don't you just subscribe down below, leave a comment if you agree, name your OT horror stories or whatever. But without any further ado, let's just get into the video. The title of this video, why the overtrigger is problematic. There's a few reasons why. Number one is just the amount of power that an OT gives. Like, we're talking about the actual power of the card. 100 million is way too big. Like, I know what they were trying to do. They wanted this big anime over effect that's like, oh, I'm coming back from losing. Damage check the OT. 100 million to everything. I've been saved for a turn. That's good in a very casual sense. If you're playing a casual game, you're like, oh, damage check the OT. Oh, it's really fun. But if you're playing a competitive game where you commit so much to your final turn, pretty much, and you go, okay, I'm swinging with the Vanguard or swing with a rear guard, and then I'm doing everything that I can. I'm gonna have 5, 6, 7 attacks, and I'm gonna be able to swing or at least reduce their resources to where they cannot come back. And then boom, they damage check the OT, and your whole turn's wasted. You just can't do anything. Yeah, you can get rid of the rear guards. Sure, you can do some stuff, but at the end of the day, the overtrigger is just too strong. And even the effects that they give, disgusting. Stoicheia is a front, critical, heal, and front, critical, heal, and the other one, whatever the other one is. There's 4 effects. Front, critical, heal, whatever. The Dark States OT gives plus 10k in a crit until the end of the game. It's basically a Force 1 and Force 2 all together in one effect. The Cater Sanctuary OT gives drive checks to all of your units. So if you're playing something like Golds, which you're probably not doing, but it gives drive checks to everything. If you have 5, let's just say you have 5 XL2s, XL1s, all of your rear guards are going to get drive checks, which is absolutely insane. And even the vanilla OT, gives 100 million power to 2 units. That's so much damage. It's crazy. And then finally, the worst of them all, in my opinion, this is the worst one. It stands your Vanguard, which is disgustingly good. This card is amazing. And then I'll put the Brandgate one. That doubles all of your power and all your crits. So when you get the 100 million, not the 200 million matters, but there's just no way. It's disgusting. These OTs are just extremely, extremely strong, and they take agency away from you in the game. So take like G-Era, for example, right? You knew that, let's just say, if you're guarding with a 10k shield, with a 15k shield, and they're just running 10k triggers, you still have to say over trigger to pass, and that sucks. That's really bad, because it's taking away agency. You can do everything right and yet still lose to the over trigger. Case in point, a few months back, I was playing at locals, and this guy was about to lose. I was going to win next turn. He had I had all cards in hand to guard, and then he checked the OT, checked the Cater OT. Okay, so everything gets drive checks now. I'm not going to be able to commit to much. Something gives him 100 million. I'm not able to guard against that. I didn't have a PG in hand. But yeah, it shouldn't have happened, and yet it did. He won, but that was the only game. We played a best of 3, and that was the only game that he won. Because I was the better player of the 2. I know that I was. I played better in all 3 games. I knew exactly what I was doing. And only that one game he won because of the overtrigger. And even a game ago, like I was playing earlier today, I was doing the gamble turn in Aquaforce, and then, you know, I swung with like a Pursuit Assault, and then boom, he checked the OT. That was my whole turn screwed. I couldn't do anything. He had no rear guards to attack, and I couldn't even deal damage. I could draw cards and stuff, I could do stuff, but there was no pressure being dealt that turn. And that is, by all accounts, not fair. It takes fairness away from the game, and it adds just an unreasonable amount of luck to the game. Vanguard, people are fooled by Vanguard, thinking that, oh, it's all luck based. No. You have, without the OT, you have extreme agency to know when to guard, to understand how to guard with and what. If you are, you need to know. You control your own agency in Vanguard without the OT. If you're playing V and everything, which is the only thing without it, you need to guard, you need to do everything right. You know, not to say you don't get unlucky, because you do, but this trigger right here screws with everything. I was talking to people where he's like, I lost 3 games in a row because they just sacked the OT. I was going to win. I had everything planned. Had everything laid out, and even was a different fighter, Solomon Vanguard or whatever. You know, he had everything. He won a game because he got the OT, and he shouldn't have won that game. Even he would admit that, and I'll admit it too. I had a game. I was playing in Shiranui, and you know, he swung with the rear guard, with one of my rear guards. I damage checked the OT, and he just couldn't do anything, and that just gave me the momentum to. I was going to lose that game, mind you, that turn, because I had like 4 damage. I was like, shit. Excuse me. You know, I was like, damn. You know, I had to commit grade 0s if I was going to guard, and then I probably was going to lose that turn. But because I damage checked the OT, he couldn't do anything, and therefore a couple of turns later, I was able to kind of come back and finally get the win. Because he took all of his resources, he didn't have enough resources to kind of to take back the game that was obviously his, but just due to the over trigger being pulled, that 100 million power, you know, take away the 100 million, the effects are still extremely strong. If we take the thing, so you get critical +1, front row units gain 10k, heal trigger, it's an astonishingly strong card. Stoicheia. This is an astonishingly strong card. This is a really strong card. Just 10k and a crit at all times. So let's say your base 12. Your triple drive will be now, it'll be, instead of like, let's say 28 or 27 or 26, it'll now be 37, 38, 36 with a crit on there. And then even the 100 million, and then you get to restand your Vanguard, and then the Brand Gate 1 plus 100 million. This card is ultimately problematic for the game, and it takes away agency and skill that Vanguard ultimately is. This is an incredibly skill-based game. You need to know knowledge, you need to be able to predict correctly, and without the OT you are. So let's say, okay, so I put down a shield that's like 2 to pass, but I can't say that because I have to go, that's over trigger to pass, and that is a problematic phrase in this game, and it's lost too many good players' games, and it's won too many bad players' games. I'm guilty of it, you're guilty of it. You know, this game is very, very much in need of banning the overtrigger or doing something. Like, yes, it's at 1, but the fact that it is at 1, it's either you're gonna get extremely lucky or extremely unlucky, and it's not fair which side that you're on. It's not fair on either side. So anyway, guys, that is just the thing that I wanted to, that's the video that I wanted to make. You know, it's been building up for so long. It just, this bubble is going to pop eventually. I don't know if Bushiroad is going to do anything to it. But anyway, guys, if you like what you see, if you completely agree with what I'm saying, just subscribe down below, give the video a like, comment down below your kind of stories of how you got screwed over by the OT, or how you were going to lose, but then the over trigger saved you. But anyway, guys, I'd just like to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.